This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Tory stalwart, former Progressive Conservative MP Elmer MacKay has died at the age of 89. Sisterly strength. Cape Breton sisters are leaning on each other as they face breast cancer together. And outdoor showtime. A former popular Cape Breton movie theater gets a second act.
The clouds are continuing to clear out for eastern areas, paving the way for sunny, warm, even a bit humid, summery conditions for the last weekend of July. I'll have your full forecast coming up.
Good evening. A mainstay in Nova Scotia politics has died. Elmer MacKay, a longtime former Progressive Conservative MP and cabinet minister, and the father of former MP Peter MacKay, was 89. Elmer MacKay was first elected as MP for Central Nova in 1971 during a by-election. He was subsequently re-elected and then resigned his seat in 1983, so newly elected PC leader Brian Mulrooney could run in that riding. MacKay was elected once again in the 1984 election and continued serving as MP until 1993. MacKay held various portfolios, including regional economic expansion, solicitor general, and public works. In a statement, Peter MacKay posted on X saying his was an extraordinary life, collecting legions of friends, leaving a legacy of hard work and public service. In a statement posted online, Premier Tim Houston said he was saddened by MacKay's death, calling him one of Pictou County's greatest representatives who never lost sight of his Pictou County roots. Facing a breast cancer diagnosis is never easy, but three sisters are finding strength in one another as they navigate treatment together. The CBC's Sam Morant shows us how family and community support are helping them carry both the emotional and financial burden.
Sisters Stephanie Smith and Edwina Donovan are undergoing breast cancer treatment at the same time, and their journey is truly a family affair. A few years ago, their older sister, Anita Donovan, also went through breast cancer treatment. Now, they're all coming together to help each other through this difficult time.
It's great. Sorry if I get emotional. I try to stay so positive all the time, so. But it's been great. It's been so good to have so many loving, caring people and supportive people around me all the time.
While undergoing treatment, Smith is not working, but bills still need to be paid. And her younger sister, Edwina, says she's already used up her sick days and is currently on EI. She's from Halifax and is currently staying with her son, while Anita helps her get to her appointments.
I'm pretty happy that we became closer. You know, everybody has issues in their past, right? No one's perfect. But yeah, I wouldn't be able to do this without my two sisters. No, I couldn't.
To help with the financial burden, Anita, along with their parents, are putting together a benefit dance in Glace Bay. When she underwent treatment for breast cancer in 2018, she was also out of work for a year. She says she understands the support and help that is needed for her sisters at this time.
The place I worked, they were very helpful. They raised the money and stuff to help me financially and things like that, so that was quite nice.
Anita is now paying that generosity forward to her sisters, cooking them food or driving them to their appointments. Smith was initially going to the regional hospital in Cape Breton, but her surgeon fell ill, so her doctor sent her to the hospital in Antigonish.
I didn't realize at the time when I did that meant I had to continue to travel back to Antigonish and back for all of my follow-up appointments and follow-up surgeries and everything, so I've probably been back and forth there now at least 15, 16, 17 times.
The sisters were already close, but now all three say their cancer journeys brought them even closer. Sam Morant, CBC News, Marion Bridge.
A man from Ontario is in Nova Scotia for the first time, not to be a tourist, but to thank the women who saved his life at a hockey tournament in February. George Harrison, who was a referee, had a heart attack and collapsed. Melissa Hines and Terry Arnold just happened to be nearby. They're nurses at the Valley Regional Hospital. They performed CPR until an ambulance arrived. Hines says she's touched that Harrison has come to thank them face to face.
It's just such a warm, comforting feeling that that he's doing okay. And again, with our career here, we go through some quite traumatic events often enough, and you don't really get that follow up. So it's just nice that he actually reached out to us and wants to meet us. So it's exciting.
Hines hopes the story inspires more people to brush up on their CPR skills. Halifax Water is looking to substantially hike their fees for new developments to help pay for badly needed infrastructure. This week, the utility applied to the Nova Scotia Regulatory and Appeals Board to raise their regional development charge. Water fees for both single homes and multi-unit projects would go up by thousands of dollars, about 650%, with wastewater fees rising 265%. Duncan Williams, CEO of the construction industry of Nova Scotia, says if the hike comes in at once, it would have a major impact on rent and housing prices.
This will definitely have an impact on construction and affordability. But at the same time, we also understand we're also arguing that we need more infrastructure support. So I think the key to this is going to be how can we defray some of those costs so that we can catch up, modernize our infrastructure, grow our city, grow our economy, and at the same time not kill our industry.
Halifax Water says the hike could be spread over time, and the utility recently applied for federal infrastructure funding. The wait list for public housing in Nova Scotia has more than 8,000 people on it. But the head of the housing agency says the size of the list is not the best way to judge it. Vicki Elliott says she's focused on wait times. In the past 4 years, the average wait time has dropped from 27 months to 19 months. And people who qualify for priority access typically wait for less than a year.
You're on the phone. You never get a message that says you're number 650. You hear the message. Your wait time is about 5 minutes, and so that's what we strive to do. Is we strive to give people an accurate time that they will be waiting, because that's what they want to know, because that's what they want to be able to plan for.
Elliott says one of the factors that's brought down wait times is a focus on faster turnarounds. She says the time between a tenant leaving a unit and a new one moving in has gone down about 20% in recent years. An orca sighting in Cape Breton is making waves on social media. Several videos and photos were shared of a single killer whale making its way past the Canso Causeway. But some are concerned about why it's there in the first place. Ethan Hunt has that story.
Cape Bretoners are seeing something rare this week, an orca whale. Ainsley Marchand and her son Dylan were on their way back home, driving near the Canso Causeway, when she spotted a dorsal fin in the water. She slammed on the brakes and pulled off to the side of the road. Her son Dylan pulled out his iPad to capture this video.
I was really excited, and it was cool to see an orca because I never saw one before.
We started immediately Googling, what are the chances that this actually is an orca at the causeway?
The Marine Animal Response Society says it is an orca, confirmed by the white spots on its face and back and its tall dorsal fin. Marchand says this was a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Free Willy, we were saying.
Daniel Ferguson got in on the magic too. He says he dropped everything when he heard about the whale, hoping to catch a glimpse.
They're one beautiful, majestic creature.
Ferguson was concerned, though. He wondered why it was traveling alone. Tanya Wimmer says Ferguson isn't the only one concerned.
I think this one was a bit different in the sense that it was this lone orca that is a very different looking whale than what people are probably used to. And so there were concerns as to whether this was something people should be concerned about, if there's a danger for the animal, or whether, if it was in some kind of distress.
Wimmer says while the whale appears to be fine, they are still monitoring the situation. And the whale is free to roam the ocean, just like Willie. Ethan Hunt, CBC News, Sydney.
And we've got Jay here with a first look at the forecast. And you've been tallying up how much rain we got over the past couple of days.
Yeah, because we did yesterday have some very heavy pockets of rain building in through the Halifax area up the Atlantic coast. And I just wanted to update those numbers, give you the 2-day rainfall totals, because I believe we were forecasting widespread 20 to 40, local amounts 50 to 60 millimeters. And you did see between 30 and 50 millimeters of rain for the Halifax area. You didn't see much yesterday down in Yarmouth, but you were so close to 80 millimeters. You did just squeak out an extra millimeter to get that 80 millimeter total. Now, not to worry about, nothing to worry about in terms of rain as we look ahead through your Saturday. Mainly clear sky tonight. Chance for some dense fog patches for coastal areas, though, and that could result in maybe some low cloud where those dense fog patches form in the morning. By the afternoon, though, we're back to sunny conditions. Maybe cooler if you're by the water, immediately downwind, but that wind's not too strong. Temperatures up into the mid to high 20s, likely going to feel near or just over 30 with the humidex. It's going to be a sunny and warm one. Grab the sunscreen, high UV index for your Saturday.
Absolutely. Good advice. All right. Thanks for that. We'll talk soon. An historic cinema in Dominion has recently been revived as a nostalgic open-air movie venue. The Royal Theatre is no longer, but as Kyle Moore tells us, a community display is bringing back a lot of memories.
For $10. This is the whole unit goes. It comes with the sign up.
It was once the oldest run family theatre in the country. Dominion's Royal Theatre opened in the early 1900s and closed in the late 80s. The building is long gone, but Susie Royal remembers efforts to save it.
Everybody was pretty upset with it, and, you know, they just wanted that to stay with us in the community. So I just remember it was a very sad day.
As part of the community summer festival, Susie Royal and her family are paying tribute to the theatre on their property. Her husband constructed the replica, and the original sign and shingles are on display.
The Royal Theatre meant a lot to everybody in the community, and we just thought, just bring back some memories. So that's what it was, a lot of memories.
The owner, the late Olive MacDonald, was forced to sell everything off in 1986 after she could no longer afford to pay the taxes. The community rallied to try and save the theatre, but efforts fell apart when government funding fell through.
I just feel it shouldn't be. I'll be long gone, but I wanted to pass the theatre over to them. And it's history. And they gave money to a lot of things that's not history, you know, and it would do something for Dominion. I'd be long gone, but it would do something for the town.
As much as people loved going to the theatre, many say Olive MacDonald is what made it special.
The lady in there was such a wonderful lady to everybody. She cared about people. She made you feel like you were somebody and special, and she didn't care who you were.
I can remember going as a child. Olive was just something else, and she did everything for the children, and she was like, I guess, a babysitter when we went in the afternoon. And if you did something wrong, let me tell you, your parents would know the next day.
The royal family display has people showing up to watch movies that once played in the former theatre and has become the talk of the town.
This street, the cars have been up and down the street looking and talking about it and stories, and it was really good.
Susie Royal says people can enjoy the former flashback until the end of the community summer festival, August 2nd. Kyle Moore, CBC News, Dominion.
Well, it's the end of an era for frozen treat lovers in the province. Scott Byrne will no longer be selling some of its iconic popsicle flavors. But what they choose to discontinue and to keep might come as a surprise. We sent the CBC's Olivia Bootlier out in Sydney to ask people their thoughts. Have a look.
Scotsburn recently discontinued certain popsicles. They discontinued cherry, grape, root beer, and lime. What do we think about that?
Lime? No!
Honestly, the root beer ones were good. I didn't like the lime though.
It's terrible. They were great growing up.
I'm sad because root beers were my favorite.
Grape, not so much, but definitely root beer and cherry are my favorite.
Well, I'm kind of upset about it really because, you know, it's obviously a staple, especially when it's Scotsburn products.
They decided to keep the 3-color Rocket Pop rainbow one and banana and orange. Do you like those flavors?
No. Orange is disgusting and banana tastes like medicine. So no.
I love banana. Yes, I'm here for the banana. It's okay.
Kind of love a banana popsicle, and the rocket one definitely.
Okay, well, orange is obviously my favorite. You know, it's simple, it's easy, and it tastes good, so you can't go wrong with a good orange popsicle.
Don't mind banana, but chocolate, I like chocolate also, and root beer.
What are your thoughts on banana popsicles? People are very divided over this.
No.
There just doesn't seem to be, you know, for a young woman such as myself, as many popsicle choices as there used to be.
It's kind of heartbreaking, but again, you have to move on. It's 2026. Hopefully new things come out.
Gonna miss the root beer ones. Jay is up next with a full weather forecast. We'll see you on the other side of the break. Nova Scotia. And this is Nova Scotia on your smart TV, because CBC News is now streaming local. Local news and weather on your connected TV or favorite device. CBC News Nova Scotia, streaming now. And Jay's back with his full forecast, and the weekend is here. Boy, Saturday sounds like a beauty.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. The only caveat is just in the morning hours for coastal areas. We have warm air moving in. That water, certainly along the Atlantic coast, is cool, so that can result in some pretty dense coastal fog patches if we see those develop, or for areas where we see those develop. It can lead to, as it starts to kind of burn off from the ground up, it can result in maybe some cloudier pockets through the morning, even into the early afternoon, as the wind is not going to be too blustery to mix out that fog. That being said, once it clears, you get a lot of sunshine and not a strong wind off the water to keep things very cool. So very warm temperatures ahead and some humidity building in as well. If you can make it a beach day, it's going to be a nice one for most areas tomorrow. Wasn't too shabby today either. I mean, we had a chance to kind of wring out the socks after yesterday's rain, some dry conditions. We saw temperatures comfortable, not cool, but comfortable. I mean, a few spots were below 20 if you were downwind of the water. But for the most part, low to mid 20s today, not too humid, but we will see more humidity building in tomorrow, but also a bit of a bump temperature-wise as well. Continuing to see for eastern areas that cloud cover gradually clearing. We did have the sunnier skies back to the west, and that clearing trend will continue this evening and overnight. Mainly clear once we get towards midnight, but as that wind settles down, we could be looking at a few fog patches. This forecast model is not really hinting at it, but I am seeing the potential there for some dense fog patches to form through the overnight hours into the early morning hours tomorrow. Where it forms, you may see a little bit of cloud cover in the morning. Most areas, though, sunny conditions across the province. Just a few passing clouds, and yes, starting to see a little bit of fog late in the afternoon, early evening, forming for areas downwind of the Bay of Fundy. So keep that in mind as well. Where the water's cold and the air is warm, you do get that chance for some fog. Now, overnight Saturday into early Sunday, we see another clear sky across the province. You do see some dense fog forming for coastal areas as we look towards the Bay of Fundy, and then watch for maybe some coastal fog patches as we look along the Atlantic coast. We start out sunny, but clouds will increase through the afternoon. So I will say for Sunday, a mix of sun and cloud, but as we get into the mid to late afternoon, that's where those clouds will start to build in, kind of moving in from the south and east, and that'll be the wind direction for that day as well. As for tonight, aside from that possible fog, we do see a mainly clear sky above us, but temperatures will be quite cool. We'll see anywhere from 9-10 degrees on the low end to 12-13 degrees on the warmer end. So it is going to be a cooler one tonight. That being said, that clear sky, once the sun does come up, that daytime heating gets underway. The wind's not overly strong, which means we're not looking at a lot of cooling moving inland with that marine influence, with that wind off the water. So you will see not too bad by the water, but those temperatures inland will be quite warm. Actually, around 30 in a few spots possible. You can see Truro, 29 degrees, Kentville, 29. A few spots will top 30 degrees likely tomorrow. And then for areas that are closer to the water, mid-20s. If you're immediately downwind of the water, you may be seeing those temperatures curbed into the low 20s, but feeling mid to high 20s, even for those cooler spots, just with that added touch of humidity that will be in the forecast. So nice one for your Saturday. UV index is going to be through the roof, though, so be sure the sun hat, the sunscreen, make sure you're being sun safe if you're out enjoying that nice weather. We do start out mainly sunny as we get into your Sunday. We'll see those clouds kind of developing through the afternoon gradually, so becoming a mix of sun and cloud, and then mainly cloudy late day. I do see cloudy periods, good chance of some showers as we look to your Monday. Temperatures will be a little cooler as well, certainly not as warm as Saturday. Sunday is a little cooler, but still pretty nice. And then as we take a look at that long-range forecast, we do see a mix of sun and cloud on Tuesday, and then we're looking at the potential for some more moderate to even heavier rain late in the week. Added cloud cover to go along with those heavier showers as well, and that could mean cooler temperatures. This will be the last day of the month of July, so we are talking about a week out. Still time for change, but if you're hoping for some wet weather, Wednesday night, Thursday could be falling fairly heavily, and a good chance for steady rain to round out the week and to round out the month on Friday as well. So if you're looking for sunshine and heat, Saturday's your day. Sunday, at least the first 2/3 of it, not too bad either. Should be a decent one to wrap up the month of July. Amy?
Sounds great. All right, thanks for that, Jay. We're back after this. One scene made a big splash at this year's Halifax Pride Parade, a tiny dog in a tiny car, and a video of that has gone viral. And we're here with Cheech the Chihuahua and his owner, Juliana Bagnall. So how did this all come about that you guys were at the parade?
We usually just go to lots of parades, and we usually like going to the Pride Parade because it's so colorful, and we like to support Pride Parade and everything because we have quite a few friends, and he has quite a few friends too that are.
Well, talk to me about what kind of reaction you got when he's traveling down the sidewalk. It looks like he's driving it himself. First off.
Oh, it's a lot of people are like, oh my God, how's he driving the car? And then they realize it's me driving it, but they just always ask, like, how do you get him in there? How do you get him to stay? And it just started since he was a puppy.
So he seems like he kind of likes it.
He does, yeah. I put him in a sleigh during Christmas for walking around during Christmas parades, and he really likes it. He doesn't like walking too far, so he enjoys getting carried around or driven around.
And in dog years, he's old enough to drive, right?
Yes. Yeah. He's over 77, something like that.
Well, since the video went viral, what kind of reaction have you heard?
I had a lot of positive feedback on the videos, and I just like hearing all the compliments about how it always makes their day, and it makes my day as well. I love seeing people's faces when he drives by.
Little red Corvette, baby, you're much too fast.
Now, where did you get the vehicle?
I actually found it on Marketplace. I was looking around, and I was trying to. The big RC ones for the kids were too big for them, and the little RC cars didn't have an opening, and then I found the American Girl RC car, and he fit in it perfectly.
And when did you get that?
I got it 2 years ago.
Okay.
I found it on Marketplace. I just got it up on Quinpool Road.
Now, you said he's been in other parades?
Yeah, I usually take him to the pet parade, the Quinpool Pet Parade, and he's usually the star of the show there.
Well, tell me about the sleigh he also has.
I found a sleigh on Marketplace again. It was in New Brunswick. A gentleman handmade a wooden sleigh, a big Santa sleigh, and I asked him if he could deliver it to me, and he did. And when I got it home, I painted it all up and decorated it and made a big seat for him. And
well, to have a Cheech, you must have a Chong, right?
Yes, I do. Yeah, Chong's home. He's 3. He's 5 pounds. He doesn't like sitting in the car with him, but he likes to go. He'll go in the trailer. He has a trailer that hooks up to the car.
Okay. So he's okay with that?
Yeah. But he'd rather just walk next to me.
Right.
But he'd just rather be driven around.
Well, tell me a bit about his personality. It sounds like he is a bit of a ham, huh?
Yeah, he is. He's a pretty chill ham. He doesn't like little people, like children, because they're closer to his size, I guess. But he's very nice. But he doesn't like people going around his car. Okay. That's the only thing. But other than that, he's the best dog, and he's so chill.
Do you have any other events planned for him?
We wanted to go check out the Natal Day Parade, just to get a bunch of reactions, and we're going to do up his car and trying to get into the Parade of Lights.
Okay, so you've got a lot on the go. And were you actually in the Halifax Pride Parade?
No, we just wanted to go and look and just walk down the road. And when we were walking back to the car, we were walking up the side Spring Garden. They had the sidewalk blocked off for the parade, and so we just ended up walking on the street, and everybody seemed to love that. So we walked 2 blocks, and
well, you saw the opportunity and you took it.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did, and he loved it.
Well, you're putting a lot of smiles on people's faces.
That's awesome.
All right.
I'm glad we are.
Thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coming up, after several delays, Canada marks the opening of the Gordie Howe Bridge without the United States. And growing wildfires across Canada trigger evacuation orders and health issues for nearby residents.
Right now.
Donald Trump took aim at Canada on social media, bragging he'd changed the original agreement on the Gordie Howe Bridge between Windsor, Ontario and Detroit. He wrote the U.S. would be taking 50% of the profits, a boast that came as Canada was celebrating the bridge's upcoming opening on Monday. Still, Canadian officials chose to emphasize the cooperative spirit between the two countries. Megan Fitzpatrick has the details from Windsor.
Game changer. Just like the legendary player the bridge is named for, that is how the Gordie Howe International Bridge was being described today at a ceremony marking its opening. No surprise, the event featured some hockey in honor of the Canadian player who spent most of his NHL career on the other side of the river in Detroit. Speakers at today's ceremony noted the symbolism of a bridge connecting Canada and the U.S., given Howe's roots in both countries. They said he represented hard work, resilience, and teamwork, qualities shared by the Americans and Canadians involved in building the bridge. Many members of the Howe family traveled to Windsor for the ceremony. Howe's son, Dr. Murray Howe, said the new bridge will serve as an unmistakable symbol of the friendship between the people of Canada and the people of the United States.
As a family, we are so grateful
that our father was able to experience such a profound expression of love, reverence, and gratitude in the twilight of his life. We are truly humbled by the immensity of this bridge, and even more so by the immensity of this honor. From the bottom of our hearts, we thank you all.
Also in attendance, Ontario Premier Doug Ford, Canada's ambassador to the U.S. Mark Wiseman, Windsor Mayor Drew Dilkins, and Federal Infrastructure Minister Gregor Robertson. He explained the decision to uninvite Americans to today's ceremony.
Given the recent tariff action from the U.S., we felt that we should focus today on celebrating here in Canada.
Representatives of the trucking industry are eager for the bridge to open, given how much time and therefore money it's expected to save compared to the privately owned Ambassador Bridge. The Gordie Howe crossing is a highway-to-highway connection, has more traffic and inspection lanes, and permits more kinds of materials from crossing the border.
Canada's had productivity challenges, and I think this is very important. It'll speed up the crossing for our drivers. I know the drivers and shippers and will really appreciate this because it'll just get the trucks through the border quicker, going both ways.
The bridge is scheduled to open to traffic on Monday, and starting August 5th, people will be able to walk or cycle across the bridge. Megan Fitzpatrick, CBC News, Windsor.
The Trump administration has brought in a slate of new global tariffs on dozens of countries. That includes Canada, with the White House slapping a new 10% tariff on some Canadian products going into the U.S. The CBC's Julia Wong explains what the impact will be.
This new tariff had been expected for quite some time. There were 10% global tariffs in effect, but they expired at 12:01 a.m. Now, new tariffs are being brought in under Section 301 of the U.S. Trade Act, and they will be imposed on dozens of countries, including Canada, because of forced labor practices, because these countries import goods made with forced labor.
In 2018, when we redid NAFTA, one of the new provisions we forced Canada and Mexico to take was their own prohibition on forced labor. So in USMCA, we obligated them to do that. A few years later, we're finding that they aren't actually enforcing that, so they're included in this action.
This tariff was first floated by the U.S. administration last month, and the U.S. is arguing Canada imports goods made by forced labor and that it does little to stop it. After the tariff was announced on Thursday, the minister responsible for Canada-U.S. trade, Dominic LeBlanc, said in a statement that Canada shares the concerns of the U.S., and he says Canada has one of the most robust frameworks to prevent and address forced labor. Now, ultimately, this doesn't really change much for Canadian goods going south of the border. Under Section 301, Canada would see a 10% levy slapped onto goods, but products that are compliant with CUSMA would not be affected, meaning most Canadian exports will be exempt. So, in effect, the U.S. is swapping out the expiring 10% tariff for a different 10% tariff. However, a senior Trump administration official disputes that the new tariff is just a replacement, saying the U.S. is simply trying to level the playing field. Julia Wong, CBC News, Washington.
Donald Trump's decision to impose new tariffs has drawn criticism from several countries. The European Union, for one, questioned the rationale behind the move.
The argumentation behind that it's forced labor, sorry, but you can't say that for European Union. Our labor laws to the ones of United States, people have paid vacations, we have very good conditions, labor conditions for our employees, so it's not really grounded.
Opening arguments were heard in a New York State court for a Montreal man charged with murdering his 9-year-old daughter. State police said Luciano Fratellin originally reported the girl had been abducted, but officers determined the story to be false and arrested him. The CBC's Alexander Silberman has more from the courthouse in Elizabethtown, New York.
We heard two very conflicting opening statements here at the start of the trial of 46-year-old Luciano Fratellin, a Montreal resident accused of killing his 9-year-old daughter in this region last summer and concealing her body from police. We heard the prosecution say they plan to present a range of evidence that they say proves beyond a reasonable doubt that Fratellin is responsible for the death of his daughter. They explained that evidence will include digital evidence. They also plan to present clothing that was found in a plastic garbage bag in the woods on the side of the highway that Fratellin wore, that was found near the location where Melina's body was found. They also plan as well to have a number of witnesses testify. We heard today from a police officer who responded to the scene and first spoke with Fratellin after he called 911 and reported his daughter missing, telling police that he believed she had been abducted by two men in a white vehicle. We also heard as well testimony from the 911 operator who took that initial call and interacted with Fratellin, saying that there was a bit of a language barrier. We also heard a very different narrative from the defense. They say they planned to explain how the evidence that the prosecution is presenting is very much circumstantial evidence that does not point to Fratellin beyond a reasonable doubt as responsible for the death of his daughter. We did hear, though, from the prosecution that they do plan to present evidence that could show a possible motive here. Part of that evidence will include writings by Fratellin that explain the dynamic between him and his former spouse, Melina's mother. Fratellin wrote in those documents that he believed Melina's mother was evil, that she was not fit to be a mother, and that she suffered from mental illness. He also went on allegedly in those writings to say that he believed Melina also suffered from a mental illness, and he planned to take her on a trip to put an end to it. But the defense saying that the evidence that will be presented will be largely circumstantial. They're explaining that they plan to present arguments that the police did not pursue other leads and did not pursue other evidence that could explain other theories in this case. The trial is expected to last 3 weeks. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, Elizabethtown, New York.
More than 900 wildfires are still burning across the country. While there is a bit of positive news from parts of Ontario, where officials are reporting minimal fire behavior in recent days. In British Columbia, about 400 properties in the province's Fraser Canyon area are under evacuation orders. Officials say not everyone has left, and that's complicating firefighting efforts.
We're unable to focus predominantly on our operational objectives when community members refuse to leave evacuation order areas.
The province's wildfire service says resources that could be used to help fight fires near Boston Bar are instead being diverted to public safety. Smoke in the area has made it difficult for crews to get an updated look at the fire's size. Crews are facing hot and dry conditions. There are about 90 fires burning across BC. Wildfire smoke is now linked to a spike in emergency room visits for migraines. A medical journal has just published evidence collected over a decade. Lauren Pelly takes a closer look at the study.
With out-of-control wildfires still raging across much of the country, millions of Canadians are breathing in all that smoke.
I can imagine those who have lung issues are really affected.
I run my air conditioner, so I do get a little bit of smoke kind of coming in, and that's where I kind of actually noticed last night. I was a little bit of a headache, but nothing major.
Inhaling smoke can lead to a range of health impacts, from lung inflammation to a heightened risk of heart attack or stroke. Now, a new Canadian study shows another link. Using more than a decade of hospital data from Alberta and Ontario, the team found a 6% spike in ER visits for migraine conditions tied to periods of wildfire smoke.
14% of Canadians have migraines, so 6% is a hefty number when you're dealing with a really common condition.
Migraines can include pounding headaches, mood changes, nausea, and other symptoms. They're caused by a complex set of biological and environmental factors.
So it's not like everyone with migraine will suddenly get an attack because of the wildfires, but people who tend to be more susceptible to exogenous triggers like weather changes, stress, smoke inhalation, these sorts of things, that just might mean that they may need to treat their disease a little bit more aggressively.
Experts recommend all Canadians take precautions during periods of heavy smoke. Stay inside as much as possible, avoid physical activity outside, and consider wearing an N95 respirator if you do need to be outdoors.
And I think our first piece of advice is to always be checking the air quality health index, because sometimes it doesn't even look that smoky outside, but you can still have health effects.
More research is needed to confirm links between wildfire smoke and serious headaches. Even so, this study offers yet another warning that Canada's fire-filled summers could pose a serious risk to human health. Lauren Pelly, CBC News, Toronto.
Iran's military says it has launched retaliatory drone strikes against a number of U.S. targets in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Jordan. The strikes come hours after U.S. Central Command said it finished its 13th straight night of strikes against Iran. The U.S. says its targets will reduce the threat Iran poses to civilian sailors and commercial vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Meanwhile, Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen ramped up pressure this week. The rebel group says they struck 2 Saudi tankers in the Red Sea, increasing concern over the threat to that key waterway. U.S. President Donald Trump promised major military punishment for Iran and its Houthi allies. A Canadian has won the Fields Medal, the world's top prize for mathematics. Ryan Snoddon shows us how he got there and how he's now inspiring the next generation.
Cheers at a University of Toronto watch party as Professor Jacob Zimmerman wins the Fields Medal, one of the most prestigious honors in mathematics.
Very fun time accepting the award, and then we had a press conference. So that was a new experience for me. I've never had a press conference, not something a mathematician does very frequently.
Zimmerman has loved math as long as he can remember. This is him in grade 10, already solving university equations.
It's very intellectually stimulating, and when you finally find some way to just go backwards around the problem and get a result, you get a really good feeling, like, yes, I got it.
One of the best even back then, according to his former teachers.
And just the way he showed a joy in solving those problems, it told me that I was dealing with someone special right away.
Jacob had a tendency to plow through questions. He didn't find the pretty solutions, he found solutions, always.
The Fields Medal is named after a Canadian mathematician, but Zimmerman is only the second Canadian to ever receive it, being recognized in part for helping prove a conjecture stumping scholars for decades.
The reason this conjecture was kind of quite stubborn is because it was a statement about how two worlds in mathematics sort of relate to each other.
That work opening even more possibilities, according to one U of T associate prof.
What's really important is that he came up with new techniques to prove it, and those new techniques can be used in other areas of math.
And now he's inspiring the next generation too.
Fields Medal is huge, right? It's the biggest prize in mathematics.
For those who don't love the subject.
That's okay. People don't have to be excited about math. And, my response is more for me.
Now on to conquer his next challenge, the impact of AI on math in the future. Ryan Snoddon, CBC News, Toronto.
Well, Canada's main stock index gained ground Friday, while U.S. markets were mixed and oil prices fell for the first time in a week. Here's a look at the numbers as we head to break. And we are back to wrap things up. And Jay, it's hard to believe Saturday is the last Saturday of July.
I know. I know. Man, oh man. And I mean, before we get into next weekend, yeah, it is the end of July. So come a week from today, we're already into the month of August, which I'm having a difficult time processing this already. It feels too soon. Look at our daytime highs today. Not too bad. We're going to add a bit tomorrow in terms of the temperature. Not too much in terms of cloud cover. In fact, we'll see a lot less cloud cover, aside from maybe adding a bit more fog into the mix for some coastal areas into the early morning. So as we show you this forecast model, I just love seeing when there's nothing to show you, because that implies sunny conditions across the province, aside from those coastal areas, mainly towards the bay, and then a few spots along the Atlantic coast. You get that morning fog. Otherwise, clear conditions for your Saturday, and most of Sunday should be very sunny as well. As you get into the afternoon and evening, those clouds do look to gradually build in. So into the morning for coastal areas, you do have that chance for some dense fog patches to form. That wind will be calm, the sky will be clear, and we do have more humid air building in. So those are the ingredients for some fog to form, especially if you're near that cooler water with that warm, humid air moving in. But once we get into the afternoon, uninterrupted sunshine, temperatures into the low to mid-20s already, and then by late afternoon, we'll see those temperatures up 25, 26, 27, 28, even close to 30 for inland areas. It will be cooler if you're immediately downwind of the water, but that wind is not too robust. So not as much of a cooling effect across the province as we look to your afternoon tomorrow. You may even see a few spots top 30, and if you're even into the mid to high 20s, probably going to feel around or just over 30, factoring in the humidex. And Sunday, again, not as sunny. We'll see a few clouds developing into the afternoon, but really for the last weekend of July, great for outdoor weather, especially if you can get out to a beach or the neighborhood splash pad.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thanks for that, Jay.
Anytime.
Instructors with Cycling PEI offer a free summer program that teaches kids how to ride push bikes. Our colleagues at CBC PEI sat in on one of the training days at Little Ducklings Child Care Center in Stratford. Have a look.
Morning, everybody.
Remember, green light means
go.
Red light means
stop.
Yellow light means
slow down.
Hi, I'm Jamie Pike, and I'm the Cycling for All coordinator at Cycling PEI. And today we're here at Little Ducklings doing push bike program.
Oh, like a snail.
Good job. It's a really important skill to learn, and especially when kids are in kind of this developmental age, push bikes are a really good opportunity to learn not just how to ride a bike, but more balance skills, learning how to coordinate your body when your feet aren't on the ground. We're going to do 1 foot pushes only, okay?
So this is our second year having Cycle PEI join us for this program. The kids have had a blast. Every kid that I've talked to have loved doing the bikes. They've always been wanting to come out in the mornings to do the bikes. They love it. Parents have also been enjoying it too. They get the pictures in the afternoon when we post them of all the feedback, and their kids coming home and telling stories, and they just have the best time.
So tell me about what you got to do today.
I was eating breakfast and I was hungry.
You were eating breakfast and you were hungry? I meant more about the biking.
I like playing the wolf game and the green light, red light, and the bat and the cat.
Okay, what do we say?
1 o'clock!
Did you have a favorite part about what you did today?
Play Mr. Wolf, the riding the bikes.
When you start with a group that's very beginner and kind of just doesn't really know what they're doing, and then seeing by the 4th day that they can glide, and even like today, the difference between Monday to now is extraordinary. Red light, ice.
What was the hardest part?
Falling.
Falling was the hardest part? Did you fall many times? No. Are you going to start biking to daycare? No? Is the roundabouts, is that the problem? All right, do you guys want to go inside and get a snack?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Adorable. Well, you might have received a tarot card reading before, but probably not for your pet. A fortune-telling shop in Seoul is giving tarot readings to pets, including dogs. A tarot reader will interpret what the animal might be feeling after he places a paw on some of the cards. Pet tarot is a growing trend in South Korea, driven by a surge of pet ownership in the country. Who knew? All right, that is it for us tonight. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.